to me at least, it's not clear-cut that Movistar Riders have this game. Are they the favorites going into map 3? Yeah, for sure they are. Should they be closing it down? Yes, they should. But is it clear-cut? I don't think it is. I legitimately think there's still a chance here for Grinders to upset this entire best of 3.
I mean, I'm still finding it a little bit hard to believe, but I also take a look at the situation that we've seen so far, and I think to myself that Movistar Riders, man, you've got to think about that online set of results, right? The issues that they've had when it comes to online competitions, and you wonder whether or not this will be the statement made. Maybe not winning your own map pick, but certainly winning a best of 3 over this Spanish core could set up a pace for the Grinders camp. As they start things off on the CT side, we'll find out whether they can complete the task that's set before them. The Julies, the Pistols, the USPs will take down the Glocks. All up in Donut. Justin Mopoz get a couple of picks back. Mopoz has already gone down. Bomb needs to get picked up here from the Donut entrance and committed to the bomb site itself. They're going to swing together. Third man comes in from the lane position, and they'll get cleaned up on the Riders camp. Pistol gained by the Grinders.
So an A split coming through for Movistar Riders. They try and split off red, they try and smoke off the likes of CT, and they come in towards Donut, and they come in from A main. And unfortunately, one thing that we are seeing in the recent meta a little bit more is Julies, and sometimes double Julies out there towards Donut. Close range could do a lot of damage, and we saw exactly that from Grinders. Movistar Riders kind of got trapped before they could even get to the bomb site, so because of that, no plant, a very light eco in round number 2. Good start here for the Lithuanians.
Solid stuff. Movistar down to the Pistols. Partial eco basis, no forces coming in this second round, and there's been a bit of a repeating trend over the course of this best of 3. You'll see the rifles mob them up as a result, so eco conversion does get at least 1 pick back for Just. But considering the HP bars, considering the lack of Kevlar, it shouldn't be any more than just that 1 frag. Okay, a second frag, never mind. I jinxed it to the favour of that Movistar Riders side. But still 3 players alive overall for the Grinders camp. They get their 2-0 and the guns come in quick for the Ts.
Well, at least for Movistar Riders, they have ended their 7-map losing streak with finally a map on the board, but they haven't ended the entire best of 3 losing streak again. Still 3 to their name in the recent history. They'll look to try and see if they can avoid that being a 4th and get their first victory on the board here in the closed qual. And 2-0 start for the Grinders. Aggressive mid for a couple of individuals out here towards red.
Decent nade placements there from both sides, Magilla and Mopoz. Taking the brunt of the damage from both teams. Mopoz taking a little bit more. Flashes are sent as Bag is given free reign of lane. Movistar Riders trying to force out a fight back here at the doorway, and being unsuccessful in that, they just counter-rotate.
Yeah, they're not trying to fight at all. They're giving that respect. I mean, Movistar Riders are a team that are very good when they're on the back foot and when they slow the round down. So rather than fighting out from the doorway, just give it to them. You've already been smoked off. You could retake lane, or you could try and put pressure elsewhere. And what they're going to do is leave Mopoz as a lurk out here to the doors. CT smoke being lined up from Martinez. They can just act towards an A exec.
Just in with the molly in his hands. Going to try and drive Raphael back. Take no damage. Take the face ahead of the smoke instead. Flash is only doing so much in terms of blindness. He'll get the kill on Just as Adam will get the trade back. Meanwhile, pushes come in towards lane. They'll get the lurkers as the main T-side force will fall apart on the A site itself. 1 trade for Martinez is all he'll be looked to get. The smoke towards Donut will clear, giving an open line for Magilla and Code to actually lose their lives and almost line up for Martinez. The Baggies holds on to the trade count, and it will be a 3-0 instead for the Grinders.
Jeez, that looked like that was going to be an easy close there from Grinders, and that gets very expensive towards the tail end there. Nearly actually comes through with the 1v3 clutch. I think for Grinders, though, everything you could ask for came through successfully in that round. Not only have they taken map control towards lane, they've had a very good trade sequence out towards A, and then that lurker Mopoz doesn't cut any rotation, dies pretty much instantly.
Half by now for the Riders camp. Just does go down to Baggies. He doubled up as well. Mopoz able to get that 1 trade back as the Pistols doing respectable work, but nothing that will make a massive amount of difference in the grand scale of things. at least keeping the economy limited in the short term, because there's not a lot in the savings account. So one casualty actually does make a bit of a difference. Unfortunately for Movistar, they can't quite springboard off the back of that. The bomb is in CT control, so an exit on this one man at spawn might be the best that they can get.
It's a tough kill now that Raphael's going a little bit further back, but in the end, the Tech-9 does win out. But you're right about the whole bomb territory and the position that Alex finds himself in. Yes, it's damage, but it's going to be very difficult to make any more of this happen. It's going to have to come down to Alex winning another fight from Red, and now being seen, he could be smoked off and waste even further time off of the clock.
Backed up at cave. Martinez walking forward slowly but surely, trying to find the pick against Devido. Devido shots missing out, so Devido gets the kill back to return. Now Alex is all alone. Crossfire, tight as you want it to be, does isolate that one individual. So again, trying to make it an expensive round here for the CT side. And to their credit, Movistar Riders did have the half buy, so that might play out well if they can convert this rifle round.
And I think previously in MR15 and Go, Jay, we kind of looked at like the 5-0 at the beginning and say, okay, this is where nerves start kicking in a little bit. Obviously, it's going to be different because you've got less rounds and you still have very minimal rifle rounds to start things off. But if you are Movistar Riders, this is a slow start to their T side, and they can't afford to let too much more slip from this point onwards. Otherwise, this is going to be a very solid first half for Grinders.
It's like I was saying when we were 4-2 up for the Grinders side, and you were saying, okay, there's some serious upset potential. It's like that really is true with the limited rounds. We are losing a fifth of a game with the switch from MR15 to MR12, so...
Especially being on T side as well, right? Because if you're not getting that bomb plant bonus, you're not getting the consistent rifle rounds either.
And the issues will just compound and compound and compound for Movistar as Grinders' lead will grow and grow. Back to this passive style of default, trying to find engagements in certain capacities, but not fully committed from Alex's position. Oh, that nade's not good. And that will not aid them at all on the Riders camp. Grinders have got a lot more emphasis on the B side as the group up begins from the T side.
A back and forth spam, doing very minimal damage, but the T's have been able to walk into cave, and this is undetected as of right now. That M4 is going to drop to Mopoz.
One good engagement that will aid the Movistar camp, but the Molotovs return from the CT forces. Thirdman's considering a rotate, as they will leave a little bit of space to work with on the T half of things. Bomb site can get gained. Sadivo is going to allow the plant to come down as well as he hunts for Mopoz on that boost, but the AK wins another good fight. That should be able to secure the round for Movistar here. Grinders, no real emphasis or basis to work back into the retake, so they'll get back out of the back lane, hold on to their guns, and concede the first over to the Movistar Riders.
It comes down to the King of Spain of Mopoz to make that happen. Been on this Movistar Riders team for over 6 years now and had a huge amount of accolades to his name. I think the only one that kind of comes close is maybe someone like Laurel that was played there on Mouse Sports back in the day. 2 very important kills. And I think it did help those entries out to be that, of course, the first one was that they were able to get into Cheetah pretty much for free. They didn't have to use any of that utility. They didn't have to engage into a fight. It wasn't until they got to the cave entrance, which is when that first duel presented itself.
After 4 in a row, Movistar can respond. Grinders return, getting back as much as they can, but again, economy was not great. Savings weren't there. Of course, there's no loss bonus. So only pistols for Baggers and Sadivo. Quickly in for the 5-7. Great headshot. Mopoz going down. Starting advantage, swing with a second. The AWP's also been seen with the bomb on its back. Alex taking some damage, but does get the kill onto the man. Aware of that M4 also being out there, trading blows as Sadivo goes down to Martinez, and Movistar Riders will gain the advantage as they all vacate lane.
And that was the right idea, and just a little bit more on the poorer side of execution there from Grinders. They obviously realized that they don't have a huge amount of weaponry to work with in that round, with that 5-7, so get on the front foot. Try and see if you can make an aggressive duel, and as soon as they get that first pick, they look to keep challenging. They look to put even more emphasis down onto the rifler of Alex, and that AWP out towards the doorway. Movistar Riders, though, I mean, they just fight themselves out of security, and now it feels like that first approach was so successful, and now nothing gets granted.
Good adjustments from Movistar to adjust against Baggy's initial start. Sadivo couldn't follow it up, and of course the rifles didn't get anything done. Grouped up there, caught off in at window. So now it's just a case of that M4 to hold on to his weapon once again. As the Grinders will concede 2 back to Movistar Riders. Momentum shift most certainly here with the Spanish core.
A bit of a scare for Big in their series, as they were actually down 10-13 on map 2 up against the Chosen Few. They do rectify things and send it to a third map, but it does make you wonder, Jay, what sort of scares are we going to get in this close qual? Again, it's CS2. Maybe you can have the attribute that it levels out the playing field for some of the weaker teams, but this is Grinders and the Chosen Few really putting on a challenge to some of the favorite teams.
And 2 teams that you would argue probably are, well, I'd say strongly argue as the 2 bottom of the board here of the whole field.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's not even an argument. They just are. Even the 2 teams that came through of the open qualifier of Aurora and for looking for Org, they're towards the higher end of tier 2. They are teams that can go deep. They are teams that can win entire closed qualifiers and qualify to LAN events.
And still they hang in these matches. Still they steal their maps, and still the favorites are forced to fight back in overtimes or their own map picks, whatever it might be, to try and maintain control. And maybe it's less of a surprise in that other series, but this is our #1 team in terms of this bracket that are continuing to try and bring back a deficit against the Grinders camp. Movistar Riders will be given a gifted third due to the nature of the eco involved, and you can see how quickly it's been cleaned up here. A third on the board of them. The Grinders have their rifles back in for round number 8. Protect their lead over our bracket top seed.
I think one thing that we definitely saw in the last map was that hurdle, right? Where they're up 4-2, they put in a good scoreline, and then things just start getting out of control because there's a round streak, because there's continuous success from Movistar Riders. If Grinders want any way to steal this series and to win it out, they can't afford to give a lead here. They have to try and challenge the 5-3.
Nice nades on against Alex, the CT side. A similar story returns towards them. They've got very little utility off the back of these initial engagements, though. Be wary of how to use these last couple of smokes and this incendiary facility. Oh dear, Mopoz. That's another missed nade from back there at lane. I don't think it was Mopoz that threw this first one initially.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's still understandable, right? Because this is only the second time that we're seeing Movistar Riders coming into an ancient CS2. I think a lot of the newer lineups that players are trying to incorporate, the first few officials that we'll see from them, we will see quite a bit of missed utility.
Better get in those prac servers and start practicing them a bit. Iron those out, because it won't be long before we have them down pat, and mistakes like that will not be tolerated. Backed up positions on the T side line. Baggers is hearing these players coming in, evading the wallbang attempts there from Mopoz, so smartly moving out of the way. Movistar Riders still have their hearts set on the B side.
Yeah, they're going to try and challenge out here towards ramp. 3 CTs up against T-side players.
Martinez lands on Magilla, and Martinez can follow up as well from the back lines. Mopoz dealt with by Baggies, who's now known here towards the wood corner. Engagement spray against Justice, done so much damage, and the peek forward from Sadivo could find his players unable to focus on towards just the low HP entity. The AWP up close, backed up by Alex out towards the cave side swipe. And now Raphael's got just called onto the AWP. Run for it. Another save for the Grinders. And another round for Movistar Riders.
And that just looked like pure panic right there for Sadivo, because you're in a position where, I mean, what do you do when you get out of the smoke if you're not seeing anyone? You're not seeing the ramp player, you're not seeing the cave player, and you know Martinez is getting the bomb down. You just get stuck. And then that's when you start getting flustered. You're not sure where to be looking. And in the end, you're just out in the open. AWP is trying to survive, but Martinez is getting ever so close to denying that.
Roger for him. Nope. Oh, missed by Raphael. He does get the kill and put him back in his place. Still a respectable triple on that bomb site itself for Martinez here. and the confidence that Movistar are gaining these rounds with, as well as built the economy state in a way that the Grinders never have.
And that's such an unfortunate timing for Grinders that as soon as they start walking ramp, that's when Movistar start coming up ramp. If it was maybe 2 seconds earlier, perhaps they catch them transitioning. Perhaps they catch them still with util out in the open. Anytime you're trying to walk ramp for an info play and you're just being hit on, it's going to be so tough to try and come out alive.
AWP set in and ready. The T's are about to make their move. It seems like a much faster setup. Movistar Riders full send in from Rap. The AWP is going to strike first to the T side. The 5-7 gets one back on Jugs as well. Double up, grab the AK and all. The AWP has been found by Martinez, and just getting tagged up by Utility. There's 4 CTs to deal with, and not one trade's come back from Movistar yet. Finally, Martinez can get one, but McGillis managed to swing forward for his own 2K for 3 weapons to get recovered on the Grinders camp, and they just about defend their lead.
I look at that round for the Riders and say, how's there not a cancel call? How is there not an immediate cancel? They know the AWP's towards long. They know the AWP got saved in from the last round and it's just an upgraded eco. Then they see mass players on the side directly. Even though it's a 3v5, you got to get out of there. There's no way you can keep fighting. And if you do, well, that's the outcome.
And the lead goes back to the underdogs. With the economy being dipped into by Movistar here. McGilla straight up in mid now into the window. Wary of what could come down towards elbow. Supposed to re-smoke on as now Baggins may play off the distraction. Mopos is making noise. Molotov to send this player forward. The M4, is he ready for it? Yes, he is. Mopos is not. Counter flash, swing backs, and Alex can just find that trade. Another AK around that corner. 2 of them, in fact, trying to hunt for these players, but Alex defends himself. Jugs was known there to be damaged up to 84 HP. Another HP will go his direction, so they'll continue to chip away at the HP bars and get a kill out onto McGilla. Jugs still maintains a trade back, though. AWP's dealt with, and now that AK on the B site is all that remains.
One thing I'll give top credit to Movistar Riders for is anytime there's been aggressive duels towards lane, they have been shutting it down. Grinders look at that first exchange, see that first kill be successful, and it's so similar to a previous round where they're on a rifle, they get an opening kill, and they just want to keep challenging. They just want to keep fighting lane towards the doorway, and it comes back to bite them for the second time.
Wary of what Jugs might try to do here in terms of this late round, but a 1-on-3 situation. Very little that he can do. There's no sneaky beaky plays been set up already, so you can't set any up now. Full post plant. AK's best bet is to hold on to itself, hold on to its lifeline, even get to the AWP out if he wants to, and that's exactly what he'll decide upon. Movistar will answer back to the eco steal and claim a 5-all scoreline. Dead set even as we approach the end of the half.
And the concern here is that what about Grinders on their T side? They didn't show very much competitive nature at all on Overpass on the T side. And in their game against Capybara in the round of 16 on Ancient, they started T side and they got 4 rounds. It was their second half. It was their CT side comeback that was so luxurious, that was so successful. So this is a concern for the long haul of this entire best of 3 on this third map decider. That for Grinders, they will be going into the weaker half, and they don't have a huge amount of rounds to work with in a lead. I mean, the best that they can get is 7-5.
And even then, that's not a guarantee. Especially with the way that Movistar have been playing since the 0-4. They've evened up again. Looks lights out in doing so, to the point where there were several players on 10k plus after buys, after investments. Adam, not aware of McGilla's position in the midst of the smoke. Seeing the utility fly ahead of Red. Both players in the walk right past him on the McGilla. Known, footsteps heard, engagement found, just can't get the kill off the back of that. Advantage stays with the Movistar Riders. Savido flanked upon, but gets away through the smoke just about with his lifeline intact. It's a 4-on-4.
Yeah, MartinezSa striking out there towards Red, and finally the HG finishing off the job. You start considering the idea of what's left here for the CTs. There's a lack of information. Yes, they know that mid's been taken and MartinezSa was lurking. What about the rest? Silently, the Ts are starting to incorporate that cheater and cave control. MartinezSa could potentially get caught at a timing, and indeed he does, but it's not a returning kill. It's just information.
revealing himself as well towards that mid control that might force Movistar Riders into action on the B site. Have they forced them into a trap? There's only 2 players back here. That third man's on his way in just in case. The AK bursts and sprays, the Molotov set. Advantage still here with the Movistar Riders. That Molotov does not extend towards Alex entirely. A little bit late there, tagging the 37. What that could have done if that had landed, though. And now the retake seems to press on regardless. Bag is caught next. That's going to be round over now for Grinders. They can't do anything with this. Save their guns once again. And finally, the lead will be taken by Movistar Riders.
Do you know what's the most surprising thing to me in that exchange is that the bomb planter of Alex doesn't even move, right? Like, I think from our perspectives, you look at that incendiary going down towards the left-hand side, and eventually it did spread and start doing damage. You would think instantly, get off of the bomb because it's going to spread to me, and it just didn't for a little while. Wow, what a huge difference that makes. And the confidence that Alex had on just getting the bomb down.
Held firm and solid. And now they hold the evens. Will they be able to hold the advantage as we go to the last round of the half? The last map of the best of 3. The Grinders have their guns back here. The M4s, the SMG on Baggers again. The AWP is also in for Raphael, who's looking for the opening pick here towards main. The right idea behind it, but no one from the Riders has taken a peek.
Now, this is a good information play. It's just what can get rewarded off of the back of it. Now, obviously, Magilla's going to keep going. It is being watched from Just. And the AK on that jiggle, M4 just has to back up. There's nothing that you can do from this point onwards. And now mid could probably be exploited because of it.
The AWP is considering a push forward. Martinez is going to hold his nerve against the flashbang and prematurely fires. Baggers now allowed an opportunity. Raphael tagged the 4 HP. They do actually fight against that AWP, forcing him back towards the main position. And well out of dodge on the A side. I would have thought that bait and switch would have worked well for the Grinders, but apparently not.
It just shows the change of AWPing as well. We know that Raphael can do a little bit of secondary AWPing. We saw it out there in the open qualifier. This time around, though, he has been very unsuccessful. And it makes you wonder why it isn't in the hands of Magilla after what he's shown in the first 2 maps of the series.
Perhaps role concerns in terms of the map itself. I mean, it is a very wild set of circumstances, and the Riders can capitalize for it with another kill onto Magilla himself. And an open and free A bomb site right for the picking and the plant. And it is 2 men up on the T side for the post plant. Make it 3 as Jukes drops towards the donut entrance. And now the 2 players back at CT, the last 2 that remain, both known. Engagements with blind shots, desperate to pick anything up from the T side line. And surely it shouldn't be much more left in it. Only a matter of time for Movistar Riders strike back, get those kills, and secure the half. At 7-5 on the T side, that might spell the end of the Grinders in the upper bracket. Movistar up 7-5 going into the second half of map number 3. This looks familiar, but why, Dweg?
Well, this was the exact same scoreline on the same map for the CS2 debut for Movistar Riders up against Betra. 7-5 on the T side. It went to overtime and it was a loss. Will it be the same?
About to find out. USPs and Mopos engaging Baggers first and foremost. Martinez able to mow down 2, but Baggers keeps the trades going to a 3-on-3. So far, so even. Sadivo able to take one back on just in mid-control. It's low HP for him, but advantage for the Grinders here in this circumstance until Alex goes down to that USP. It's all Adam S in the 1-on-3 retake.
This is a tough retake. He's coming in by himself, and he also needs to deal with that very late wraparound out from the doors position. At least he's got the first, but now the info goes the way of the T side.
Further lean forward, grabbing those dualies, but now well aware of where he is are the Grinders. Bomb planted back at the pillar, opened up for that ramp position, tapped once on Adam. He's got no kit in this position. Got to fight real quick. Engagements to face. I think they know that they've won it. Grinders taking damage, but not going down. Pistol round gained by them. We'll talk about familiarities in the 7-5 halves as well. Remember, the first map also ended up a 7-5 half for Movistar Riders, and Grinders took it at 13-11. This is not the first time that these guys have lost from this advantage. Will it not be the last?
I think one thing that we can definitely account upon is that there's going to be one round, whether it be an opening rifle, whether it be an eco steal, where we look back on it and say that was the difference. There hasn't been much in it on Ancient right now, and when you're in a third map decider, when Grinders are pressing to tie up this scoreline against the full eco, the worrying signs could continue for Movistar.
Quick in from Baggers. Engagements to find Adam S. There's the opening against this anti-eco. And the rifles will clean up the rest. 4 down, no casualties to return. One plant secured, and nothing more left for the Riders camp.
Baggers out here with the spam, getting closer and closer to Alex's position. Finally seen him on the jump face, and there's that tied up scoreline at 7 apiece. Now, without anyone going down, it allows themselves to have a stronger economy float going into the next round. AWP in the hands of Martinez straight away. Now, he literally only had enough money for the AWP, so that we'll see no armor or no utility.
Straight glass cannon. See whether that will come back to bite him or whether or not he can apply it to great effect.
He's not really looking for a pick. He's got it in an anchor roll this time around. Very deep out to the big box.
With the solo defender on the A site in the interim portions of the round, if they rush him down, that might become a bit of a concern. They are slowing down his default. Oh, he's caught looking the wrong way at the wrong moment. Once again, timing comes back to bite them in the backside of the Movistar Riders, and the Grinders have full control of A. Bomb plant is inevitable at this stage. They're looking for trades back in. Just the Mopos can get a couple of them. But Baggers maintains the 3-on-2 for the Grinders. Raphael will get the bomb down.
Raphael's got to be so nervous about that rotation to come through from Donut. Luckily enough, that FAMAS does not come in and try to deny the plant. 2v3, Mopos needs to deal with Baggers on the site, and Alex actually drops to him.
Now got to deal with the 2 off-site players, both of which in main. Bomb open, of course, for them. Okay, again on Mopos' part. Checking out spawn. They're wary of some sort of wraparound play that could be in from the Grinders camp, and that's just not happened at all. Backed away. Flashes to send to look for the engagement. Might lose another player right here and now. Indeed, they will. But Mopos will not secure the round for it. A 3K as far as it'll go. The Grinders will go further with the lead.
And if you're Martinez there, you are absolutely fuming at yourself. You're not fuming at your teammates. You're not fuming about what happened in the round, but yourself. Right there, you have the AWP in an anchor roll. You have it out to the big box. And as soon as you look up for what is normally one of those jump faces or a boost to look on towards big box, you just get caught from underneath. And from the Grinders' point of view, I mean, how quick did that entry come in? As soon as that relocation of the AWP looks further height, mate, he's gone instantly.
That's exactly what I was talking about as well. The setup had so much emphasis there in mid that AWP going down meant that it was open season from there on for the Grinders. Movistar already losing the pick on the opening. Magilla That's caught Alex. No one's on the A side directly this time, so they just put that bomb down whenever they feel is appropriate. Case of when, less than if. Martinez has fallen, and from here, the rest of the pistols will get cleaned up. 9-7 for the Grinders. From down by 2 to up by 2 in just a matter of 4 rounds for this T side.
I don't want to set it up too much, but theoretically, this could be one of the best upsets that a Lithuanian team has had since I can ever recall. I mean, to think that a best-of-3 victory against a top 15 team in the world that's just top 8 at ESL Pro League. Yeah, okay, there are mitigating circumstances, and we've talked about that over the course of this entire best-of-3 of Movistar Online. But for a Lithuanian squad, I mean, we don't often see Lithuanian teams in this kind of level of competition.
Again, this would be a hell of a statement. What a day it would be for the Grinders to beat Movistar Riders and continue in the upper bracket. And what a thing you'd have to be if you're Movistar Riders as well. Remember, they will be in the lower bracket very early, and their opponent should be Aurora.
Yeah, that's not an easy draw, is it?
Yeah, no, that's not ever. I mean, it was going to be over there at Apex, so it was always going to be a concern for whoever lost this particular matchup. But for Movistar Riders, again, they're looking to prove something online. You said before that they don't want to go into CS2 with the same reputation of being good enough to do the job on LAN, but then can't even qualify for the LANs themselves. That's what this whole bracket is all about. This rifle is pivotal to their success. The Grinders know that. They will play the default again, heavy-handed towards the A side, fast in towards the likes of Justice. M4 good enough for one pick back, trying to fall away from position, leave Adam S in with trade potential. He'll lean forward, try to spot them. Raphael goes down. It's a 5-on-3 now for the Riders. Count with backup continuously on the way. AK is leaning in. Bomb plant could get secured. Magilla will drop for it, though, so it's down to 2 individuals. Sprays, flashes, keeping players blinded. No trades back at the T side. Finally, Baggers will get one. But Alex is there for the responsive, and Movistar will indeed secure their rifle.
Yeah, Grinders are targeting a lot of the A site, and it does make you wonder why that's the case. Is it maybe something that they've looked at in preparation against Movistar Riders, of the way that they're playing the majority of their CT rounds? I mean, once again, there's only a single A player there from Just. He's out towards the big box. He didn't get dropped instantly, and that was a really important kill for the Grinders to open up the side. Even that late lurk from Magilla, who was coming up from red, got caught by the orb. So a lot of the attributes in that round to make it successful weren't quite claimed.
One to the good for the Grinders still. Guns. And back in for both sides. As you would expect. Rifles just holding their positions, their corners, and the lane control not being fully taken by the Grinders. Movistar also not getting aggressive with their own right here.
It's a very silent round. Haven't seen many of these over the course of this entire map. Martinez is trying to move that AWP around a fair bit. Got an off angle out here towards long. A molly for the T side. Martinez getting flashed off, but not exactly retreating. Still holding it quite aggressively.
Magilla here ahead of red.
Now, this is a huge kill if he can win it out.
Alex is wary of making the moves. Magilla going to get checked. Not going to be by teammates in from the mid control. Alex will land on him. There just starts. Sadivo comes right back in with a kill, but Martinez is there for the response all the same. So advantage stays with the CT side, but only for a moment. Just gets it right back in the following one. Nade, perfect against Baggers, but still 4 HP. He stays alive. Plant denied by the wall bangs of Adam S. And now Jude's is all that remains. 1-on-3 situation. Plant will just about come down here. The incendiary is on site, just as isolated. There's that first pick. AWP ready for an aggressive face. He misses his shot, though. The AK gets stinked down in the process, and the USP can finish off the job as we're evened again by the Riders.
And that was utter perfection there from both Martinez and from Just. So Grinders get smoked off towards Cave. They've also lost their pick out towards mid. They want to explode. They want to get out of the side directly. And yes, the Krieg does get that entry kill. Martinez finds a returning frag and doesn't overextend. doesn't face again towards long, keep himself alive. Just rotating in from CT. He gets smoked off. He still gets on the other side of it. He knows I can't afford to let Martinez stay alive by himself. I need to help him. I need to be in there towards short, and getting that returning kill was a difference maker for Movistar.
Spray through on Adam, able to get that first follow-up from Just as well against his trade. Movistar Riders again at the advantage, taking the fight back to the Grinders and doing all they can to maintain this position, to extend upon the even standard that they've gained, try gain a lead over the Grinders camp and establish this third and final map of the best of three.
Should try and put at least an emphasis on trading the likes of Just, but because there's a man advantage, as soon as he takes contact, he could just smoke down, waste the clock. And Movistar Riders, I mean, this could start becoming quite similar to that overpass in the second half where it gets out of control on the round streak, and there's just nothing that Grinders can do on T-side to respond.
Wraparounds come into that B play, and I think Movistar have read it pretty well.
It's so defensive on the CT line as well. No one is extending for a frag.
Get these smokes set up. Mollies to follow in as well. Clear out the front sight, smoke off the back. AWP set in towards that long control though. Made to do very little by comparison. The shots missing by a whole half a second. The nade damage will eventually compound towards 27 HP. The bomb is on site and can get planted. The incendiaries, however, going to try to stall it as much as they can. That Krieg now in the open. Mopos not seen towards the corner. A trade's good for the first, but they've stalled for enough time at this stage. Raphael with one pick back, needs two more. Not enough HP to do it. And it's 10 on the board.
And how many of these retaking rounds as such have we looked at Movistar Riders and said, geez, they've still got a lot of utility left, don't they? Yeah. We have constantly seen HEs and incendiaries going down towards the bomb planting position, and it makes it uncomfortable. You can't get the bomb down straight away. Then the smokes start to clear, so you have to fight Mopos, who's tucked in towards the short corner, and then by that time, there's mass CTs down there on B. Very good late round utility usage from Movistar Riders, and it's compounding to a position now where it felt like the Grinders were posing a threat. I don't feel like they're a threat anymore. This is Movistar Riders looking comfortable.
There's no more mistakes or gaps in the fence that they can punish. There's no more solo players with AWP anchors looking the wrong ways that they can burst in and take a bomb site for. There's nothing like that anymore for the Riders. They have pushed on. They have looked confident. And they have expended very little in doing so. Grinders either need to find a key mistake, a key issue in the Riders' defensive, or otherwise bait in enough utility to where they can make a round work. Hero AK set up for Magilla. Movistar. 3 more to the W.
Quite a bit of utility going out here towards the wrap control. This is going to try and be an attempted pop.
Haven't checked the wood corner. Awkward spray. Actually do not catch the kill against Sevilla. Push forward, Tech9's engaging, the AWP finally forced to puts him right back down. The bomb's on site and will get planted in the midst of all the chaos, so there's cash available. What can Magilla do though? He's known and sprayed back by Adam, an inkling as to what's going on here. Now Jugs, with everything to do, gets that first, no more than that. 11-9 for Movistar Riders. Grinders have a buyback in the next here. They're going to need it.
Yeah, and it's an okay round. Again, they were going to be able to have enough cash injection to buy whether they get the plant or not. But when you're at this kind of scoreline deficit, when you're able to get a bomb down on B, you want to be winning the round. And while they tried pressing the issue towards short and long, it's not enough to start creating enough chaos on the side directly. 3 players staying alive, 2 more rounds to go for Movistar. And look, Magilla has had a quiet game. Even he's calling for the AWP. I mean, we saw that it was the teammate of Raphael that was doing the AWPing in the first half.
You're wondering as well whether or not that was a good call to make. Magilla certainly wants to make that not so. Kill on Justice started things off, switched it up, and put one man in the grave to kick things off for the Grinders. Can they get any more things, though? 2 players in at lane of the CT forces, one of which is forced forward into the crossfire, and Drugs just gets that kill immediately.
MartinezSa looking for a little bit more of a response, and there's actually quite a bit of damage going down towards lane. Alex gets a kill there on B, and Grindas works so hard for those first couple of opening picks, and now what are they granted with? Yes, Alex and MartinezSa are down low, but Alex has tucked himself out to the right-hand side, and it's not being checked. At least Raphael gets the kill.
Oh, that could have ended very differently, though, couldn't it? Grindas up by 1. B site is open for business. How much longer will it be, though? MartinezSa. We've been trying to look for CSGO. He actually might find quite a fair amount here. They're not wary. Oh no, CSGO is checking the backstab. I thought for a second they were all going to group up and just walk their way in from mid and let that man in with a chance to backstab. Now MartinezSa's AWP has missed the timing, knowing that they're now in the donut position. The smokes and the nades will come back against him. And the plant will be secure. It's a 1v3 retake with an AWP. He just wants to save.
It seems very unlikely that anything was going to be brought upon unless a kill got granted. Unless MartinezSa gets one out towards red, or maybe he's being fought aggressively from CT, even to top lane. Raphael's going to give another kill away. I mean, Grindas have got to be careful about this hunt, because they do need to stabilize their own economy float. They can't afford to lose bodies to this AWP.
There's still cash in reserves from Movistar Riders, and they're going to continue trying to take this AWP back down. They can re-afford it here, so I would advise against. Eventually, they do end up agreeing, holding on to the single AWP and single AK, and taking the single round required to get to double digits. 10 on their board. Movistar still lead at 11. And the first tactical coming in from the Movistar Riders here. Very late in the day. Grindas caught one as well a couple rounds ago. Now's the right time to do so here, I think, for the Riders camp. They are only 2 from the W.
Well, at least for Grindas, they know that when we've been in a similar circumstance, it was map 1. I mean, map 2, they were just whitewashed. So at least they know what it's like when pressure's really on to perform, to get those last few rounds to close out the game. I mean, this is a huge swing round because both teams don't have a lot of money in the reserve. The loss bonus is 2,400 for Grindas, 1,900 for Movistar. Both teams know. I mean, for Riders, they win this round, they win the game. It's pretty much how it goes. For the Grindas, win this round, we get to series point. And theoretically, maybe put that upset, that final push to get it over the line and to not have to play for overtime. Yeah, this is the round that I think we look back on. This one right here and say that was the difference to either Grindas or Movistar Riders to claim the victory.
It was from the 12-11 scoreline that the Grindas were able to take the first map of Anubis. Series point wouldn't be so bad at this juncture. As you say, it all rests in round 22. Movistar could still shut it down here and now and have crisis averted in their opening best of 3. Of course, it's not like it gets any easier. Apex will be in the next round of the semis. But at least they've gotten past the key upset that everyone wanted to see them avoid.
And MartinezSa is waiting to see if there's an AWP exchange out there to the big box. Nothing is being seen. Even Mopoz has to respect that molly and just fall back, play defensively. You wonder if there's going to be an info play late in the round, whether it be out towards ramp or... I mean, at least for Donut, because MartinezSa isn't smoked off, I mean, he is now, this is where they're going to have to start moving a player. And yes, Alex is going to move into that red control.
Past the minute marker, no casualties taken. No damage has been done. No team is willing to make the first mistake. McGiller's AWP posted, ready to try and peek in for that long control. Sees MartinezSa, but MartinezSa has the better angle. And now they look to try press on to the site kit. The M4 of Mopoz dishing out damage. Gonna get forced back here with the Molotovs put down by the T-side forces. The AWP can strike. CSGO falling bomb in the open. 20 seconds, engagement's aggressive. Baggies desperate to only get the one frag, no more than that. Martinez with his triple holds down the site once again, and just is there to close the last. It is 12-10 and series point for Movistar Riders.
What an incredible sequence from Martinez. And I'm surprised the Grindas NB, because I think when you look at the majority of last rifle rounds, Martinez has been playing long. He hasn't been moving that AWP very much in the last few rounds. And every single time they exec B, it feels like he's getting a multi-kill. Feels like he's getting a highlight sequence. Right there, not being smoked off, looking to be challenged, gets another triple kill.
And now the economy comes back to bite them here on the Grinders camp. AK's on 2, Galil on Magilla. Raphael shut down by Martinez already. AWP to frag, Galil to respond. 4-on-4, and Duke's just got an all-important quick peek and jiggle shot to the head of the AWP. Second player to face him, Mop on solo. The Deagle can trade it back. It's a 3-on-2. The Grinders have the bomb site. They almost caught Alex next up. Swing out towards the long position, and Baggies is going to get caught for it. Not caught looking the right way as the Devo goes down. The miracle round is not going to come through for the Grinders here, surely. Magilla on 30 HP, nades evaded, but Incendiary's landing. One player close, another one far, and the far man closes it for good. 13-10 in a 2-1 effort. Movistar Riders will move on to the upper bracket semi-finals.
That was a scare. That was not an easy game for Movistar Riders, but it's the result that counts, right? I mean, continuing on in the upper bracket, it's the result they're looking for. It's the placement.